Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm Vidya and today I'm going to talk to you about some things that I do before I travel with my toddler. My son is 2 years old now and traveling with children can be quite stressful, especially at this age. So there are certain things that I do in the days before I travel so that it's easier for both me and him during the actual journey and we can enjoy our trip better. So the first few tips I have are related to their health, and in the week before we travel I like to give him well balanced nutritious foods. Of course I try to give him healthy food every day, but especially just the few days before we travel, because once we go to a new place, kids tend to be extra picky about their food and we end up giving them junk food or carbs rich food like pasta or french fries just to get them to eat something, right? So before we travel, if we can maintain a healthy diet, they may not end up lacking those essential nutrients, right? So there are three things that I keep in mind when it comes to his diet before we travel. The first are fiber-rich foods to keep their stomachs healthy, because a constipated child is a very unhappy child, especially when you're traveling. So I try to give him things like oatmeal and dates for breakfast, and spinach dal and broccoli and carrots and beans for lunch, or a banana or pears for a snack, things like that. Of course I don't try to go overboard with fiber, but I try to include it with every meal that he has. Secondly, yogurt, again to keep those little stomachs calm. Vikrant has yogurt pretty regularly, and when we are traveling it's quite difficult to get yogurt. So I try to give him at least 1 cup every single day in the week before we travel, so that even if we don't get it for 1 or 2 days, he still has those probiotics and his stomach is still good. The third thing that I like to include in his diet are citrus fruits. These are very important because children have developing immune systems, and when we go to a different place and get exposed to a whole new set of germs, they often tend to fall sick. So I like to build up his immunity in the days before we actually travel so that his immune system has the kickstart to actually fight. So I like to load up on things like oranges, kiwis, strawberries, blueberries. These are all rich in vitamin C, which is excellent for their immunity. I also like to double check if he's had all his vaccinations at least 1 week before we travel, so that even if we've forgotten something or if the doctor's office has overlooked something, we still have time to give him the vaccination or flu shot, and then if he has side effects, he's still able to recover after them before we travel. And also I like to talk to the doctor if I can and get any last minute tips or advice about traveling with a child. Next, prepare your child about the trip, not just about the destination but also about the journey, because toddlers are very used to their familiar routine and their surroundings, and any kind of change can be quite overwhelming to them. So having them know what to expect really helps them deal with that change. So what I like to do is talk to my son about the whole trip. Like, I'm going to tell him that we are going to take a taxi to the airport, and then we're going to stand in a line and get our tickets and put our bags on a belt and go through security, take off our shoes, the whole process, so he knows what to expect. And then similarly, when we get on the plane, I tell him beforehand that the plane is going to be noisy and there's going to be people, and there's going to be a flight attendant who's going to give you food and toys, and try to get him excited about the whole thing. So he knows that it's going to be a fun ride. It's different, but still it's fun, right? So that's what I want him to think. And it really helped us with our journeys. Of course, toddlers will have their moments, they'll have their meltdowns because it's still new for them no matter how prepared they are. But it definitely helps to know what to expect during the journey. And also tell them about the destination, tell them who's coming to meet them, show them pictures of the place that you're going to, show them videos about the things that you're going to do. So toddlers don't like to be surprised that much. As they get older, they enjoy new things and going on adventures, but when they're this young, they crave for that familiarity. So provide them that, and it'll be a much smoother ride for you both. 2 to 3 days before we travel, I like to collect small toys or books or activities and keep them away from his sight, so that when I bring them out on the plane, he is pleasantly surprised. These could be small new toys. My son loves vehicles, so I got him little toy vehicles from either Target or dollar store, and I hid them from him. or it could be a couple of his old favorites. Like he loves this one book about a construction site, and he finds it very soothing and calming. So I kept that away from him for 2 or 3 days, so that on the plane when he saw it, he got really excited. So, and similarly, I like to restrict screen time in the couple of days before we travel. This is mostly for my reassurance, because once we start traveling, it's very hard to control or limit his screen time. He likes to watch videos on his iPad, and I let him without feeling too guilty about it. So in the days before we leave, I try to limit screen time, so that it also helps because he gets excited when he sees his shows after a few days, and it keeps him quiet and engaged, and it gives me a little bit of a break. I also avoid eating out, especially at new places, a few days before the trip. Obviously, because I don't want him or any of us to fall sick just before we leave. The day before we actually leave for the trip, I try to moisturize his skin a little bit more, because skin can get really dry and dehydrated during travel, and you don't want to start off with dry skin, right? So it gets even more drier and itchy and uncomfortable. So I give him a nice oil massage before his bath and apply lots of lotion afterwards, so he starts the trip with nice healthy moisturized skin. And along those same lines, I get him to drink more water the day before we travel and on the day we travel, so that even if he is cranky or distracted to drink water, he is not dehydrated during the travel. So those were the things that I do to get ready for a trip with my toddler, just to make my life a little bit easier. And as with everything else, preparation is key. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, you know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section if I've missed something out. That would be super helpful to everyone who's traveling out there. I hope you have safe and happy travels with your child. And if you guys have been watching my older videos, you might recognize this background. That's because I'm in India, where I started my channel last year. And if any of you is in or around Hyderabad, please let me know if you'd be interested in catching up over a cup of coffee or something. I would love to know. So leave me either a comment down below or give me an email at my email address down below. And I hope to see you again next time. Until then, take care. Bye.